So what's the essence of tarot? The essence is what you have when you boil down things to their ultimate kind of base state, if you like. The Hebrew word for essence in tarot, the Hebrew word for essence is Ut, or Aleph Tau, the first and the last letters of the Hebrew alphabet, which gives us a clue of how we can explore what that essence of tarot might be. Now, most of the time in my videos I talk about the need for not looking at the tarot cards, but in this case we'll do a little bit of that, but we're not going to do very much on the meanings of the cards themselves. You'll see why as we go along. Now, to explore Aleph Tau, we're going to use a technique called mirroring. And mirroring is a powerful magical method of comparing two differing objects, if you like, and seeing the energy between them. In this case, we're going to be looking at the Fool and the Universe card, and these two cards here. The Fool is, of course, Aleph, and the Universe card is Tau. So these are two. So it's the energy between those two cards. Now, if you know about elemental dignities, you know that Earth and air are inimical elements, and they clash. But we're not going to look at the energetic level of the elemental dignities. We're looking at the pure energy between these two cards. Okay, so if we're in this case also, we can do some research as well. We're not just going to stick to what the cards show on themselves. Now, I've just forgotten I need another card from my tarot deck to demonstrate this. Hang on a second. There we go, she's on top. That's good. Right, so mirroring. It's very simple. You just take the two cards that you want to look at, and they can be in a sequence how I normally read the cards, because the energy is still there. We're separating them out, and these are the Fool and the Universe cards. Okay, research. If you have this book, Libra 777, I've lost a cover on this one, that's how well used it is. You can find some extra in the Gematria. The Gematria is the science of looking at different words that have the same numerological value. Okay, in this case, Tau is Ata and Ta. There are some extra ones in there as well, which I can go through with you so you can see. Now, the Fool and the Universe. So Aleph and Tau is actually the first and last. So it's Omega and Alpha. It's the beginning and the end of everything. And it's the conception of the universe, the essence conceived as one as well. So it's a very powerful thing, even though we have duality. So we come back to Arthur Crowley's dictum of naught equals 2. The other thing we're doing about these two cards when we're seeing them like this is the Hegelian dialectic, and this idea that the union of opposites creates something new, in the same way that father and mother come together to create a son or a daughter. Same kind of thing. Now, the main meanings of so Aleph is 1 and Tau is 400, so that comes to 401 obviously. So in the in Libra 777 and some other sources I've put together, here are some of the words that come out of this. AR, which is cursing or to curse, or you say the curse. Ata is thou, the substance, the essence, and it's a direct object. So you know, if you see this card, this often relates to the subject of the reading as well. So this is the essence of the reading. Ta is room, so it's a room or a space. We have Akshba, AK, Aleph K, Aleph Kaf, Shin, Pe, which means fascination. So fascination is something that mesmerizes you and draws you in. Anshim is men. It's an interesting one. And then we also have Shoya, Yeshoy. Sorry, my Hebrew is rubbish. I'm born in Essex, not Jerusalem, which means salvation of Yah. So Yeshoyah, and restraint or control more. So these are the kind of concepts that come out of these two cards. And notice we haven't even looked at the cards yet, but so we're getting some idea of what's going on. So there's also one other interesting thing about these cards, this number 401, especially if you're Typhonian, follow Kenneth Grant systems. One is that he associates purple with this number, which is to do with the mauve zone. And the other one is Amprodius. Amprodius is the spirit of lever 231 for the Fool. So we have a powerful kind of system. So you might kind of think, oh, well, what's that to do with tarot? Well, it's a lot. You might be surprised because we're going deeper into the magical and spiritual connotations of what the tarot is about. So let's put that out of the way. So now we've sort of gone through the basic gematria concepts of what Aleph and Tau are about. Now, if you look at these two cards, you'll see that on the full, so these are back to front, it's difficult to see. For the full card, you have this kind of white line that creates a circle, goes 3.5 times, 2.5 or 3.5 times round, which is to do with the base chakra. And on Universe card, we again have this kind of circle. They mirror each other, all right? Now, I said that Aleph is air and Tau is earth, and there are only three mother letters: earth, fire, water, and air, water, and fire. And there isn't earth, but earth. So the Saturn card, this card represents Saturn, but is also earth as well. So we have the two inimical air and earth elements. The Fool is air. The Fool is air, and the Hebrew letter Aleph means an ox plow. So it is something that plows the earth, which has obvious sexual connotations as well. So even though it's the air card, the actual letter Aleph means to plow the earth in order to prepare it to make it fertile. Now, if we look at the Fool card, there are some interesting things that go with this card. Now, the Fool card is the first card, and the Universe card is the last one in the 22 letters of the major arcana, the Hebrew alphabet. The other two cards that represent the end of the system is the Ten of Coins, wealth, and the Princess of Discs. Okay, so both of these cards, these two cards here, in their own way, represent the end of the series. This is the end of the minor arcana, and this is the end of the court cards. Get confusing because it's back to front on my screen. Why am I saying these things? Well, because both of these cards are reflected in the Fool and the Universe card. Now, for the Fool card, for the Universe card, you can see they have these coins with the symbols on there. On the Fool card, here, they have these, it's like a pile of coins or something falling down with symbols on them. So that directly reflects that card coming into the card as well. For the Universe card, we have a similar kind of thing going on. This symbol here, this woman, she's a woman. Yes, she is a woman. She is dancing. It's to do with the star and the snake. A lot of symbolism goes with that one as well. And here she is in the Universe card. In the Universe card, she's static. She's not moving. She's not going anywhere. And this one, she's dancing. Okay, and she's naked as well. The four elements. In the Fool card, the aces, because they're the spirit of things, and the Fool card is the spirit as well, they're kind of, the whole symbolism is about the aces, if you like. On the Universe card, they're much more explicit, because in the four corners we have the symbols of the cherubic signs, which is the most stable form of the elements: Taurus, Leo, Aquarius, and Scorpio. So So this most stable elements, versions of the elements are also here as well. The other obvious kind of symbolism, which is kind of when you go deeper into these cards, when you match them together, is again to do with these circles here. They're obviously uterine, it's the vagina, particularly in the universe card. We're going into the vagina. The universe is the earth, and of course the universe has that implication of being the vast universe out there as well. So here she is with the snake. Obvious phallic symbolism that goes with this as well. And here is the Fool. He's actually, if you like, the cards go back to front. He's emerging into the light from the universe card as well. So there's this whole thing, and what do you have is a tunnel. Okay, so there's a tunnel between these two cards. Now the essence, so what is the essence, if you like, of the tarot? And in this version, this interpretation, there are many other ways of looking at these two cards, obviously, because I mean, in the Book of Thoth, there's about 15 pages on the Fool card. Okay, just tons and tons of stuff. And the universe is pretty full on as well. So these two cards, when you put them together, and it's interesting, Kenneth Grant said that Crowley talks about the way to understand the tarot is the juxtaposition of apparently opposing energies or forces within the cards, and here we're doing it between the cards, is of a tunnel. And what do you find in the tunnel? So this is not just for these cards. In essence, all tarot cards represent tunnels. So they're the tunnels of tarot. Okay, you have the tunnels of Set, you have other tunnels that to do with Libra 231 as well. And you have the 231 gates. There are 231 permutations of the two letters of the Hebrew alphabet. So this is one of the gates. Okay, they're called gates, 231 gates. So this is one of them. Probably one of the most powerful, most potent. Between these two cards are all 231 gates, and they are tunnels. So what do we find in the tunnels? Let's go back to the gematria. So the room is a small, more compact tunnel. It's not going anywhere. Okay, they have men and restraint or control and curse. So you'd expect to find in these tunnels people, men plural. I think we can take this to mean not just men but women as well. Restraint or control and a curse. So in some way, people are trapped within these cards. So this is how you can start to tease out the deeper meanings of the tarot cards. It's very simply, this is not something you can kind of do in a reading. Okay, this is, you can get the energy and you can do this in terms of what it relates to that person in a reading, but we're not doing that. We're just kind of seeing what else you can find out about the tarot cards. To do 231 is a bit of a job, and it is better to do it with the major cards as well, for obvious reasons. But you can just start to see just how the phallic and the whole kind of sexual energy that goes with these cards is there, and this idea of the tunnel. You can see that you're entering tunnels from both directions. We can take this further with the other cards in the major arcana as well. It's interesting that I spoke with an adept once who went through the major arcana and the Book of Thoth, and pretty much all of them about sex magic in some form. It's pretty scary just how much there is. And of course with the back of the cards, I spoke of this before, the cross on here, and it appears to float on the background. It's just the perspective that's used to create this. This is the other energy of the cards as well. So even the dialectic between the space that's created on this card, on the back, with the symbols and imagery on the front. And I haven't gone into much of the symbols, have you noticed? This is just the sort of what the essence of the cards are. Tunnels. The tunnels of tarot.